Hi, in this session, we'll see what are the IDOC components, objects, and the configuration steps which are required for the transfer of data from one system to another or receive the data. The first object in the early IDOC configuration is called as the segments. The transaction code for segment is WE31. The segment defines the format and structure of data records, that is the field collection. For standard transaction, the segments are provided by SAP, but for custom application or for the custom fields of standard transaction code, we have to create the segment using W31. For each segment, there is a segment type, segment definition, and the segment documentation is there. So if you go to W31, you can see the segment type and the segment definition. Whenever there is a new release or if SAP has done some upgradation in the system in the structure, so they release the new segment definition from that release point. If you click on the any segment definition, then you can see the field details. What are the fields that IDOC segment contain? Let me show here. Go to T-code WE31. Here we have to enter the segment type. This is for the metal master, one segment, Mara M. Click on any segment. So you can see all the fields like MATNAR is a metal code, ERNUM metal created by, LVM deletion indicator, metal type. Okay, so the segment type is the collection of field. It defines a structure of data. Second one is the IDOC type. IDOC type is a collection of segments. Now take example of metal master. As we know, the metal master data is stored in the different table like MARA, MAKT, MARC, MVKE, etc. So IDOC type is the collection of all segments. And okay, IDOC type is collection of each segment, and each segment is a collection of fields. The IDOC type are assigned to the message type. There are two types in the IDOC type. One is basic, that is predefined by SAP for the standard data. And if you want to implement IDOC for the custom application, custom table, then in that case, you can create the basic type. Second one is the extension type. If you've done any enhancement in the standard application like metal master, vendor master, and if you want to transfer that field to the receiver system, then we have to create the IDOC extension type. The transaction code for the IDOC type is WE30 and the table name is EDIDO. So if you go to T code WE30, here this is one IDOC type, MATMAS 05. You can see here the basic type and the extension type. Now click on display button. So you can see all the structures are here. That is the MARA, MAKT, MARC. Okay, so IDOC is a collection of segments and each segment is a collection of fields. So this is called as the IDOC type. Third one is the message type. A message type indicates what type of data is stored inside the IDOC. There are some standard message type like MATMAS, which is known as the metal master. DebMAS is for the customer master. CREMAS is for vendor master. Orders is for the purchase order, sales order, etc. It is just a definition. The transaction code for the message type is WE81. Go to T code WE81. Here you can see the list of message type. So metal master very commonly used for the newcomers. So we'll check the metal master. This is MATMAS and the description is metal master. It is only definition. Okay. Now the next step is after the message type, we have to make a link between the message type and the IDOC type. The message type has to be linked with IDOC type with the transaction code WE82. Go to T code WE82, select MatMask. So here you can see the different basic type, because whenever there is a new release, the SAP or there is a change in the IDOC type, SAP kept old one as it is and they introduce a new one, because if the old one is used in any application, that will get affected. So they never change the old one. Whenever there is a modification, they release the new IDOC type with a new release. Okay, so this is WE82, that is assignment of IDOC types to the message type. The next object is logical system. So logical system is a unique name assigned to each sender and a receiver system for the identification purpose. The transaction code for to create a logical system is SALE or the BD54. We'll go to BD54. Okay, we'll go to SALE. SALE is a ALE transaction code. Here you can do all the settings. Go to basic setting. Here you can see the logical system. Define logical system. This table is cross client. Means if you have multiple clients in the one server, this data will be common for all. So you can see here logical system ID and the name. This is just a name as alias. So this is done in the SALE or BD54. The next step is assigning of logical system to the client. If you have multiple clients and you want to transfer data between two clients, then the logical system which you have created in the previous step, that is to be assigned to the respective client with the T code SCC4. If you go to T code SCC4 or in the SALE transaction only, here is a step assign logical system to client. Go inside, select your system, click on detail. So here you can see the logical system which we created in the previous step, that is to be assigned at this level, at the client level. The next is the RFC destination. Now, as we want to transfer the data from one system to another system, so this RFC destination stores the information of the receiving system where the data need to be transferred, where the IDOC has to be sent. It contains the detailed information like the IP address, the client number, login credential about the receiver system. It is created with the T code SM59 and the table for this is RFC DES. You can see the multiple type of RFC connections are there. So if you are transferring for the SAP system, we have to create the RFC destination using type ABAP connection. If you are using the SAP HCI or PI model, in that case, we have to create the RFC destination using the HTTP protocol because we want to transfer data on the web. Okay, so in our case, we will be using the ABAP connection type. So how to create the RFC destination? Go to SM59, ABAP connection, click on create. We have to give the RFC destination ID, description. Here in the technical setting, we have to enter the IP address of the receiver system. Then in the logon and security tab, we have to give the client ID, user ID and the password. Once this setting is done, we have to do a connection test. If connection is successful, this means that the RFC destination is created successfully. Without RFC destination, we cannot transfer the data. Next one is the RFC port. RFC port is created on top of the RFC destination of receiver system. It defines the technical characteristics between the SAT system and the other system. It also defines the medium in which the data is exchanged between two systems. Like for the SAP ALE, we use the TRSC port. For HCI PI, we use the XML port. There is also file port is used in case of ADI. The T code for creation of RFC port is WE21 and the table name is ADI PO. I repeat, the RFC port is created on top of the RFC destination. If you go to WE21 transaction code, so we can see the different ports options are there. TRFC, file, ABAP PI, XML file, XML HTTP. So depending on the receiver system which you are using, we have to choose the port accordingly. For SAP, we use the TRFC port. So as I mentioned, it is created on top of the RFC destination. So whenever you're creating the port, we have to give the RFC destination here. So this is about the RFC port. The next one is the model view, the very important part. It is the object which stores the information of the sender and the receiver system, along with the message type, the filtering condition if maintained. The T code for this is SALE, cell, or you can use the BD64. The table for model view is TBD00. So if you go to T code BD64, here in my system you can see I have created one model as material transfer. This is a description. Here we have to also give the sender logical system, the receiver logical system, and the message type which we want to transfer. In my scenario, I have done the metal master. That's why the message type is matmas. So here you can see the data filter is active. We'll also see what is the filter concept in detail. Okay, so model view is very important. The model view integrate the sender system, the receiver system, and the message type which is to be transferred. So this is about the model view. Next one is a partner profile. A partner profile stores the information about the partner system. It is created on top of the partner logical system. For a sender system, the receiver is the partner, and for a receiver system, the sender is a partner. So how the partner profile is defined? For a sender, a partner profile is the receiver logical system plus the outbound parameters, that are the message type, ad-hoc type, and the port number. And for a receiver, the partner is the sender logical system plus the inbound parameters, that is a message type and the inbound process code. The transaction to create the partner profile is WE20 and the table name is EDPP1. The partner profile is created for both sender and receiver system. We'll see the partner profile. Go to WE20 T code. So here there are different partner profile options. If you are transferring data to a logical system, then we have to create a partner in the partner type logical system. If you want to transfer to a customer, then the logical system will be of type KU. So here this is my partner. So as I mentioned, for a sender system, the partner profile is receiver logical system plus outbound parameter. So we can see here, in my case, this 700 client is sender. So the receiver logical system, that is 500, is my first parameter. Then the user ID of that partner server and the outbound parameter, that is the message type. If you double click on the message type, so you can see here the receiving port. Okay, so what make a partner profile? Receiver logical system, message type, the port name, and the IDOC type which we are transferring. So by this way, a partner profile is created for the sender system. Similarly, we have to create a partner profile in the receiver system. For a receiver system, the partner profile is the sender logical system and the inbound parameters, because in the receiver the IDOC will become as inbound. So inbound will be behind the message type and a process code. A process code is an identifier that we'll see in the next session, in the next slide. Okay, so this is about the partner profile for receiver. The next object is inbound process code, which is assigned at the partner profile level, that is process code. So inbound process code, it is an identifier for inbound program. It provides a link between the inbound program for reading the incoming IDOC. For standard message type, the inbound process code is generally the first 4 characters of the message type. That is, if you are dealing with the message type MATMAS, so the inbound process code will be MATM. Mostly the function module is attached to an inbound process code. The T code for this is WE42. So if you go to WE42, you can see the corresponding function module which is assigned to that process code. And this function module is responsible for receiving the inbound IDOC and posting to the database. Go to T code WE42. Here you can see the list of inbound process code. Search for MATM, that is for MATMAS. Double click here. So you can see the identification, which is the function module. Here you can see the processing by function module. Double click here. So we can see the function module details in the SE37. This is the classification, the importing parameter, the exporting parameter of the inbound function module. So this is all about the inbound process code. Now, just to summarize what all the objects we have seen. The first one is segment. The segment is to be created in the sender as well as receiver system. Second is IDOC type, that is also to be created or should be present in the sender and the receiver system. I also given the list of transaction code. Message type in both the system. Assign message type to IDOC. It is to be done also in the both the system. Logical system to be created in both the system for the sender and receiver. Assign logical system to client. This step is required if you have both side SAP. Then only the logical system which is created need to be assigned to the client. Otherwise, only on one side this step required. If your SAP system is sender, then you have to assign your logical system to the sender client or the receiver. Now, the RSC destination. RSC destination is created only in the sender system. It is not created in the receiver. And the RSC port, as it is created on top of RSC destination. So this is also only in the sender system. The model view. The model view is created in sender system. The partner profile is required at both the place, in sender as well as receiver. The inbound process code is required only at the receiver system, not in sender. There is also an outbound process code that we can see with T code WE41. So this is the list of IDOC objects that have to be configured for transferring a data from one system to another. So there are some common message type provided by SAP. Standard message type, that is MATMAS for the material master, TypeMAS for customer, vendor master, purchase order, delivery document, invoice. Those are the standard message type given by SAP. Here is the list of some outbound selection program. As to send the data from one system to another, we need to trigger the outbound program. So this is some only three I mentioned. There are a lot of outbound program given by SAP. So BD10 is used to send a material, BD12 to send a customer, BD14 to send the vendors. How the IDOC monitoring and the reprocessing done? For IDOC monitoring, the T code is WE02, which we already seen, or WE05. For IDOC reprocessing or error handling, we can see the BD87 T code. For IDOC processing or for testing of inbound IDOC, we can use the T code WE19. Now, as a beginner level or fresher level for the SAP ALE IDOC, what one ABAPer has to be run? The ABAPer has to learn the segment creation part, the IDOC type creation, that is basic and extension, message type, complete ALE configuration, which we have seen, the data transfer technique. He has to understand how the data is transferred. He has to know the IDOC monitoring, IDOC reprocessing concept, error handling and debugging, the IDOC filtration concept, IDOC conversion rules, activating of change pointers. Suppose you did a data transfer of Metal Master. Now, after some days, you've done some changes in the Metal Master. That changes need to be transferred. That is called as the change pointers. The complete configuration for custom message type. As for the standard message, the SAP has given the outbound program, the message type, the IDOC type. But if you have complete custom application, custom table, and if you want to transfer that, then everything you have to do. Then we have to learn the IDOC extension. And also there's a technique called message control technique. In the message type, the transaction data like PO and SO has to be transferred. So as a new ABAPer for the ALE IDOC, one has to learn all this concept. So this is all about the ALE IDOC introduction. From the next session, we'll do the actual practice, actual configuration of transfer of data from one system to another. So in this way, the introduction session to the ALE IDOC is completed. Thank you.